Hello everybody, Mike Hobbies here. Today I'm going to be giving you a little update on all of my ant colonies. So here is the ant colony that I got for free in my ant kit unboxing video from, obviously, Antkit. And as you can see, just behind those two workers and the queen there is a very large pile of brood. However, on the other side of the test tube you can see that they have got quite a bit of rubbish. So today I'm just going to be doing some general maintenance for all of my ants and really just showcasing all the things that have changed. Okay, so first things first, we want to try and remove the dirt. So the best way to do this is be very quick. Try and pull out the cotton without disturbing them too much. Then using a cotton bud, simply drag all of the unwanted mess out. This is, well, basically the colony's nest, so the larger the colony, there is a chance that if the colony is large enough, they will attempt to fight back, but don't worry, they won't hurt Lasius niger. They will try and bite you, but they won't do too much. Now, I think there are about 4 workers now. I think. Well, there's at least 3, but I think there's possibly 4. Judging by the amount of brood, there will definitely be more next time I do an update. Well, that's Lasius niger colony number 1 out of the way. Next is a wild-caught queen, and unfortunately, she's dead. Now, don't worry if this has happened to you. It's very common. Complications with hibernation can sometimes be down to this, but in this case I believe she was simply infertile, as there were not any eggs that I could see. There are a few white dots, but they're just cotton that she's pulled out and bunched together. I've had a good look and I can't see any eggs, so if I did, then what I would have done is taken the eggs out and given them to another colony, and that would have, 9 times out of 10 they do accept the eggs if they're from the same species, but in this case there weren't any. But it's completely normal for this to happen. Next is my acorn ant colony. First of all, this is just their outworld, and as you can see, it has gotten very, very messy. So the best way to clean this, any dirty outworld, is with a pair of plastic tweezers. Make sure they are sterilised. You don't want to add any more bad things to the soil. So just mouldy bits of food normally that are left over, and they're just not good for your ant colony. So take your time. You don't want to disturb the ants too much. However, mine are in hibernation currently. They have buried most of their food, which is common behaviour for ant colonies. I'll take this one out. Even this, I add water to this fairly regularly, because, well, moist outworld is useful because for them they can move it around, but also for me because it's less effort than when I'm cleaning, as it tends to clump together better. Problem is though, you may have disturbed the soil of your outworld, so get a paintbrush or a cotton bud and simply just sort of push it back into place. And there you go. Here we have their nest, and as you can see, they do carry sand in there regularly. Now, the sand helps any ant for this. It helps them, their larva, which is the middle life stage of egg development. So you have egg, larvae, and pupa. It helps the larvae spin their cocoons to become pupae. Acts as basically a foundation for them, but also it helps the ants to pile their brood up a little bit better, and the ants, again, for walking around, because obviously, especially larger ants, they are walking around on a, round test tube, so it makes it a lot easier for them to have ground to walk on, as they can grip to it better. Another reason why it's good to let your ants be able to forage like this is because they can sort of build their own little chambers, which you're going to see in a minute with one of my next colonies who have begun to do this. However, it didn't get very far, and they kind of stopped adding to it, likely because they have gone into hibernation. But as you can see, this is a very small but healthy colony with a decent amount of brood. See if you can spot the queen. She's slightly larger than the other workers. I can see her now. She is basically in the middle of that cluster of workers. She's slightly larger, and she has a larger gaster, which is the back part of the ant. That's because she obviously lays eggs. If you've seen her, well done. 10 points to you. And here is my third and final ant colony, even though this is the fourth I've shown you, because obviously the other one unfortunately died. As you can see, they do have a healthy amount of brood and workers. I hope that next time I show you these ants, they would have increased in population by a few workers. I estimate that by next year they will probably have about 20 to 30 workers, if not more. But the main thing I want to show you for this colony is that pile of sand in their test tube. Now that isn't outside. They have carried all of that sand into their test tube. Now I don't think my camera can quite pick it up due to the two different surfaces, the test tube and the container. But they have actually started to turn that into a little chamber. However, due to them being in hibernation, they have stopped. I'm guessing that eventually this will become kind of nest for them. And if I just move this a little bit, you might actually be able to see their tunnel already. It's towards the top middle of the sand pile. There's a slightly lighter patch. Well, that is actually a tunnel going through. And if I move the camera again, you may be able to see that there are a couple of ants inside. So about where that scratch is on the container, I'll point to it with the... there we go. I'll point to it with this pipette, probably easier. About here, there are 2 Lasius niger workers inside already. Now, that is further proof that they are going to be making a chamber, and I hope that this time next year they might have actually completed it, but because they're in hibernation they have stopped. Well, that's all for this episode. Thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.